screen. Let me get Godot open. It's not a ton of progress, but I'm kind of realizing that I want to put like modes on the dial controller.
Okay.
Because because right now the way this is set up is that like you go in the game and you toggle in and out of build mode because you obviously don't want click in. You obviously don't want to be like clicking around and accidentally click a box. So if you click B, and these aren't mapped to the dial right now, it's easier to test without it. Click B, so now I'm in build mode, and then I can click it, and I can walk around with it. And then I can scroll to bring it in and out. I haven't really figured out what button I want to do to go up and down yet. I think I'll just do like Q or E. And basically, when I go into build mode, I want the whole dial to change, so I can still move around and stuff. But it's almost like I need, because like when I'm in build mode, I don't need to dash or jump. I don't really think. So I kind of wanted to like when I activate it, it switches out these four buttons to control the building process. So I can set this down again.
So is it different than where you become the object? Or is this a different mode for that?
Well, because when you become the object, you kind of like you still want to go up and down, but you don't need to get further or like I guess you only need to go up and down with the I think it would just be the build mode of the dial. Just having modes, it like right now you can load in bindings, but then a mode would be just like a collection of bindings that you can hot swap between. So like say we're building, say like a certain mini game needs different controls. Like I feel like that would be really useful to have. The game can just load it together, and you can't really see it now because I haven't programmed up and down yet. But if you right click, it'll freeze it in space. So then you can just once I put the height in there, they're physics objects, so it'll just sit on the other one. And then left click just drops it with gravity. But I obviously need to put in cooler shapes, and then once I get the possession one done, then I was going to look into like snapping. Because right now, like you can either plant it or you can drop it, and then the gravity affects it. It's like one or the other, but it's just without snapping, you can't really build anything too exact. Like you can get close. And obviously we need a menu to put more shapes in. But and then this fully works now. So you can jump, you can dash. And this is really slow, but you can turn. Up the
so you're not
I'm not doing anything right now. That's
the
just
dial is doing that.
Yeah. Obviously it's way too slow, but and it would be nice to have like a visual. Like when you pick it up to have like a where are you moving?
Wait, how'd you make that spin? You made the object spin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, actually, no, what would be cool is if
it's matching my rotation, but it's not moving. I think that's a bug. Because when you left click,
and we call it you can click an object, and then maybe not, well, then move it around. Like, is that easier to make it so if you click it, then you can use the character locks in place, and then you move the object.
Oh, you mean like the like I pick it up and the character's planted and then the buttons move it?
The buttons move the object. It's kind of like
Yeah.
similar to the original idea.
I was just thinking like, because like when you're building stuff, you want to be able to move, but I guess that would really make it easier button wise because then you can use WASD to move the object.
Yeah, that's what it meant by you become the object.
Yeah, and then I
Like
have the two
your
modes. Yeah,
camera, yeah, your camera like goes where, yeah,
yeah, I have
you know what I mean. The camera becomes the
basically what
object
it does
camera.
is like when you go into when you grab the buildable object, which is what I'm calling them. When you possess it, you pass in the camera of the player, and then that
Yeah,
object, depending on what object it is, it'll position the camera where it needs to go. So that's kind of how
yeah,
I thought about that. And that way
yeah.
you can
So
use
you could add that.
both modes to build. Like you can pick it up and move it like this, or you can become it.
Okay. And
Depending
how
on
difficult code wise is becoming it?
not very. I just haven't put it in yet. Because all you're doing is moving the um, you're delegating the controls from the player to the object, and then you're just moving the camera. I just haven't gotten put it in yet, and this bug is really strange because you click it and it's rotating. It's not moving with me. It's really weird. It's very strange. It's kind of weird looking. But I also think adding like snapping in would be kind of cool. Like if certain objects had like I say magnets on the side of them, but there's something to show you that you can snap the objects together. But I guess it's depends on what you're building. I wish I had
Yeah,
more
I like that.
interesting objects to show you, but
And so how are you moving right now with your arrow keys? Because you're not
yeah,
using the.
no, yeah, but you can if you want to. I can, and then I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna restart it. Yes, I can move completely with these, and then obviously B is on my keyboard.
Has anybody ever made it where you become the object? I guess it's kind of like Super Mario Odyssey. Not really.
I mean, I'm just thinking like Gary's mod, like you become the object, but that's not in a building sense. But it's kind of interesting that you can like push.
Yeah, I just saw a video about um the next version of Gary's mod.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it's called Sandbox. S box. It's a using the source engine
Mm-hmm.
and like he made it so you could like in the future you'll be able to export your game and sell it on Steam.
Do what with the unseen?
You can export your game and sell it on Steam in a few months.
What do you mean by export? You can already do that. Oh, like make a version of it? You mean? Like in the
Like you make your game and then you export it as another game.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because can you do that in Gary's mod?
I mean, there's probably a way to mod it to have you can do that. But I mean, at that point, why wouldn't you just use like a game engine to do it? I guess there's already a lot of pre-programmed stuff, but that kind of reminds me of like Battlefield's Portal mode, where it's like it's kind of a game engine, but it's kind of not.
Yeah, that's
It's
the one
really
thing I want to talk about. Like, why are game engines,
game
how do I
engines
put
are
this lately, so difficult to learn?
I mean, I don't
Like,
think they're
not to learn. I think the UI is horrific,
well, I just think there's a
especially for
lot of
accessibility.
it just depends on what you're doing. Well, because they need to do a lot. Because you gotta have editors for presenting, like, 3D objects and textures, and you have all your lighting and all the coding stuff on top of
Why
that.
not just make it so it's like all radial menus? Like it's not the complicatedness of making the game.
Oh, you're saying the
It's just
accessibility of
the UI is just like so
I mean, I don't think
high
it is that
level.
bad.
But every single game engine looks exactly like this. Like,
I
as
mean,
I go and do it,
there's just a lot of options, like, there's a lot of, um, like,
I
buttons.
want a game engine where you making the game is in a game. So I guess that's scary mod kind of.
Yeah, or Battlefield, um, like, Battlefield Portal has that, or, is Roblox like that? I'm not sure.
No,
I think that's a different.
'cause I'm like I've been trying to find like a more unique and easier to use game engine. And no, I don't mean like AI and all that. It doesn't need
Mhm.
that. It's just you have to take so long just to learn how it works.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out where the heck everything is.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna be using everything in the engine, but yeah, it takes time.
It's like they all just look the same to me.
Well,
I don't
and
know, I'm not a
again,
fan.
it's probably like an industry people who use it professionally are used for them looking this way. I mean,
I didn't know it would be I thought it'd be easy to make it so you can pop a carrot. And it's not that easy.
no, no, I
I'm just like I
deforming
just
objects is
wanna
like either you have one object and it's made up of all these different pieces that come apart, or you have like a live deformation, um, something that deforms the meshes themselves while you're playing the game, which is pretty hard. And I'm thinking of like Astroneer. You ever see Astroneer?
yeah.
Yeah, like that. You'd implement like one
I
of those.
guess that is where I would love like I don't want AI to make the game. I don't want it to um make the objects in the game, the design or the art.
Mhm.
I just wanted to say, make this object do this.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's I think Google is making something like that, where it literally
But
is. It's an AI controlled game like maker. It's not focused on generating like content. It's focused on like making the actual game. Because usually when people
and
think of
then
AI
like
in games, they think of
what is the community's view on AI in gaming?
I think in general people in games don't like generative AI. But I feel like if a company was using well, companies already are using AI to make games. So it's like, from the coding perspective, you're already using LLMs to code. So what's the difference between that and telling a game engine to make you a map with the built-in tools that are already in the engine? You just don't want to go through and click all the buttons because it takes time. Like I don't see the difference. But
Does
generating art, yeah, I can see why people wouldn't.
does Godot have AI at all?
I don't know. I don't think so. Again, but there's probably plugins, but I forget what the Google thing is called.
'Cause I can make like so many accessible things if I had that ability.
Google AI Game Maker. Sure, it's called. Yeah. Yeah, I forget what it's called.
And I don't get like why can't you make it so you have multiple, so instead of deforming an object, what if you define what is visible or part of it? So that if you cut it, it's all still there. It just made a certain portion after the cut invisible. And
Mm.
then it added, the other half of the cut, it added that in as well. So that looked like you cut it, but you actually didn't. It just,
Yeah, you just have two meshes, and you make one go away and one appear.
no, not really that. I want to make a half of a mesh invisible.
Yeah, because when you put a mesh in a GPU pipeline, you're sending all the vertices with it. So you can't really, once you send them in, like it would be. What's the difference between that and having different meshes and turning one off? Like there's no real difference, I guess.
Because you're able to cut anywhere. How do you make it so it has every cut imaginable already embedded?
I don't know. It sounds like a difficult thing to figure out. Because even
Let me look it up.
in yeah, I'm not sure how like the ground generation in Astroneer works. But I've never seen a game that does cutting like that. Like,
Let's see. I'm looking at make half of mesh invisible
and there's a I
because
mean,
they can do.
if other games
Uh,
don't have it, it's usually probably because of performance. Like that's just way too difficult. Like it's just easier just to have defined pieces that cut. And I guess that kind of moves into like destruction systems and stuff like that, which I really don't know how those work. But
thing.
because a lot of destruction systems have predefined parts of the building that are destroyed. And actually, the finals has a. Let's see if I can find that video. It was how the video game The Finals does destruction, um, and how it uses like physics simulations to figure out like how the destruction is going to work. Um, I forgot what the video is called. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool, like how far they've come. Yeah, I think once I put it in static mode, I can't bring it back. I think that's what the issue is. So if I grab one of these and I right click, okay, so now it's fixed. And then I go left click again. I can't. It won't move. It'll rotate.
Well, another thing I wanted to show you. I'll share my screen.
Here, I'll turn mine off. Yeah. Stop.
So these are something called Gaussian splats. And it's essentially you take a video of the it makes more sense if I show you.
Like of the place?
Yeah, so here's the Griffith Observatory. And what you can do, well, oh god, I went upside down. Where am I?
You're underground.
Underneath.
Under the ground.
How do you zoom in?
Can you zoom in? Oh, is this in
Nice.
3D space? Like it turns a picture into 3D space?
Can I move forward? Aha.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I can go anywhere I want. I'm going in. I don't know if I can go inside.
You can
Let's
go
see.
inside, yeah. Or can you? Oh, no.
Okay, no, you
No,
can't.
no. That looks crazy.
But you can do it. Here, let's look at a different one. Just crazy how.
What is Google's called? I think it's called Gemma 3. It's like a world model.
Yeah, it's just the detail.
Yeah. And all these were taken from 2D images? Or
No,
is it?
they went through the building and took a video and made this.
Oh, a video. Okay.
A video makes a 3D object. So I'm like, if we can do that, I guess you can make a. I thought it'd be cool if you had like you can use your camera in a game to map out and take photos and video of an entire level and then make it so like for people who have low vision or blind, they it'd be cool if you can make a model so that it knows, okay, I have moved forward and to the left for this long.
Yeah.
And it can say like you're approaching a wall or turn right. So that you map out the entire level
Yeah.
and then you figure out like how
Like
fast it
positioning
takes them to go through
instructions.
that level. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then it's like it will like start beeping if you're gonna hit a wall or something. Because you can do this in a video game too. Where you just take photos of entire or video entire area and render it into something like this. And it's like, oh, character went forward for 3 seconds.
Mhm.
They should
Well, you
be
can do
good.
that in a game now. You just track where the character is in space, and then um, problem is like
But
finding.
how do you know if you're gonna hit a wall?
Um,
Like, I
But you
wish
go into, like, the
we had
navigation
some
system.
way. It'd be
Is it
nice if there's some way to know when your character is not moving anymore.
when your character is not moving?
Meaning, when you hit a wall and you're still moving forward, you're going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they build most navigation systems for NPCs use nav meshes, so, like, they already have that for the NPCs because the NPCs need to know when they're hitting a wall. They need
No,
to know
but
when
I
to
mean,
turn. But
without touching the
using
game.
that, but with the player, is what you're saying. So it's
And
almost like you
without touching the game whatsoever. Yeah, let me see. Sorry.
I mean, there is already ways in games with AI to determine game AI, not AI, to determine, like, where the NPC is, if they're gonna hit a wall, where they should turn next. So it'd almost be like a hybrid NPC controller with minimal player input.
And without having to take a photo or a picture of every frame.
Well, you wouldn't do every frame, you just use the nav mesh that's already generated by the game engine. And they generate that once. Well, it depends if the game level changes, I guess.
Oh, let's look at this. This is pretty cool.
What is that? They just have those games on the internet?
And it's not the game. Just the
Oh,
map
they have the
of the
game
entire
map on the internet. Oh, that's cool.
of any game.
Oh, that's like original Mario Kart.
Because we had this. Imagine if you had the character moving in this 3D model,
Mhm.
a virtual character
Yeah.
that is doing all the same things that your other character is doing. And
I
then
just
you
don't
can
see
know,
it.
okay, there's a wall here. Like, is that even possible?
Well, I don't think you need a virtual like, you just, um
Without
like
modding the game or touching the game whatsoever.
oh, like converting an existing game to do that, you mean?
Yeah.
Um, I would think that'd be very hard to do. I mean, if you're building a game and you wanna put that feature in, yeah, I would say it's easy because you have access to all your maps and all the nav meshes that your NPCs are using to navigate. But a pre-existing game without modding, I don't see how you would do that. I mean, unless you, like, program something to, like, almost watch the game with you, and then
Well, I more mean something like, oops, something like this or something like this where
right.
you make the character go like it knows it's on your character speed. You can map out the entire room. Then you have things that make you stop. It is complicated.
Well, I guess for navigating any, like,
But if we had just had that ability to know when your character is no longer moving or stopped, even though you're still holding forward.
yeah, I don't see how you do that without, like, modding the existing game, 'cause all that data is just coming from the game, so, like, why would you go through, like, unless you have something that's like watching the game with you and then knows based on what it's seeing in the map, like where you are. I just feel like it would be easier just to mod the game at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just wish it didn't require that.
I mean, ideally, developers should be putting in all these settings into their game to begin with. So that's the whole kind of point. But
No,
yeah,
but
having
I wish they would make their
more modern
the
friendly.
levels in their game viewable, like I just showed you.
So you have all like the world data available. You mean?
Yeah, almost like a GPS for games.
Mm.
Or a Google Street View for games.
Google Street View for games.
Because then you can make any game like you can just explore it and not
Well, you can explore it, but adding more game logic on top of that is just modding. So it's like,
no, not making it available to anybody, just the dimensions.
yeah, like the layout of the map. But that's kind of like when game developers make that, that's like their property. Like that's
Or what if we make a plugin that you can add to a game that knows where the walls are?
but you would
Like
need
not
data.
where a
You would
character
need data
is or
from the
anything.
game to know that.
No,
Like
a plugin they can add to their game, like when they're developing it. Like what we're doing with Overjoyed. Or what you're doing.
yeah, but like I just like it would almost just be like they would just export the map data. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about um, like making maps and how the data is stored. You basically just export the map data to a file, um, and then you'd have like the dimensions of it. But it's like I don't know how maps, the geometry of large maps is stored. I guess because it's all just triangles, so it's just meshes and stuff. But you need to load. You almost need a plugin to extract all of the data from the map and save it to a file.
I mean, that seems like it would be the easiest with like Hollow Knight, it's just screens.
But like, what would you? But adding the logic of avoiding walls, it's like at that point you're just modding the game. So why would you make a
Yeah, but
plugin? Like you're making a plugin to give you the data, but then what are you going to do with the data? You still need to be modding the game and adding the functionality of not allowing the character to hit the wall. Like at that point, you're just modding
it's
the game.
more moving the character in the fake 3D space at the same thing
Time.
that you move the character in the game. So you're moving your character in a simulation of the
Mhm.
game world.
Yeah.
Equal to like so it moves when you move the left stick forward, it moves forward. And then when you stop, it stops too. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like your shadow, like you're playing both. But I just don't like how would two you basically having how would two applicate like I guess it wouldn't be
Oh,
outside of
it
the
turns the world into just a empty 3D object. Um, and you're just a sphere moving through it. Like it's not like you're not recreating the whole game. You're just simulating the world space.
I mean, at that point, I think I would just make a plugin that they would just put in their game, and
If I want something that's not um gonna be taken down.
yeah, I just feel like that would be too hard to do. It wouldn't be worth the effort. Honestly, I would just rather make a massive accessibility, almost like not like a standard, but a way of making certain aspects of games that game companies would follow, and almost like ADA compliance, but for video games. And you have all of these. You'd have like features like the dial controller, and you would have a modified because every game is different with the movement system. So you'd have a modified movement system that has the feature you're talking about built into it. Because without, I mean, doing it after the fact, I think would just be really hard.
I think what we really need is we need to know the character position and the position of everything else in there. And not the character, not the enemies.
Mhm.
I wish I could make a plugin that like just makes that
But then you're talking about a plugin, so then you're
available.
talking about developers putting that in their game, so why not like, why have that? You're making a plugin that developers are gonna put into their game, why don't they just put the feature into the game? Like, you see, like, if I make a plugin and I give it to a developer, they still have to integrate the plugin into the game. Why not just, like, show people how to do a modified movement controller with, assisted movement with warnings, with audio warnings, and just make
Yeah,
that.
but then that's changing the whole industry.
But if I make a plugin, they have to put it in the game anyway, right? So it's like
Here is it's a standard. It's a because
or
they
even
have this
just a
information.
demonstration of, like, items like the dial controller and like the movement controller you're talking about, just to show people, like, why these things are useful and that they can put them in their game. Because you make a plugin, they still have to put it in their game. I mean,
Well, I think then let's use magically
yeah, you can
and
make a movement
as
controller
a
that does that.
showcase of all these things.
Yeah, that's
So like you're playing the game, but it has all of these
features you can turn on and off and
crazy
test.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think if you make a game and showcase all that,
And just give people a reference of,
then
like, how you did it. Um, I think it makes it a lot easier.
yeah, and then make the entire game open source.
They're not gonna do that.
No, we make our magically open
Oh,
source.
oh, 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 I thought you meant every game is open source. Some games
But
are, though.
everything we do is
Some games are very
available to
moddable.
anybody to use.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can look at the code and recreate it.
Because I
'Cause
think that I don't know if that exists.
like,
That kind of showcase like that.
yeah, I don't probably doesn't, because they have their standard accessibility settings they put in games for years, and they really haven't pushed the bar that much. They put in what's required, and I don't even think those are required. Like, I don't know if there is any legal requirement for video games to have that. Like, I know games wanna have that, so they don't, like, make people
So
angry.
just imagine you had a list of where exactly in the world each wall is and where exactly the character is. If a game made that available, or we made that available, like we showcase that, just having that data, what it can do, because like you know where the walls are, you know where the character is, then you can know if the character is in front of a wall, let people know. So it's not really making them add anything, it's just making them add a feature that makes that available to the player.
Yeah.
And then you can stream that into Overjoyed and use that data.
Yeah, but just put the warning system in the game at that point. Like, why? I don't know.
I'm trying to make it easy for the developer to just turn that feature on, and then we could use Overjoyed to use it. So it's not like add all of these features, please. It's add this feature. We'll use that data to add more features.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's not really cheating because they're never letting you know where the enemies are.
Right. It's just your
Or
local.
like where the other players are. It's just the objects, like the room size, where the objects are, and then yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. So we can showcase that, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Alright, I think we just need to create a room and then just provide that data to me and see if I can do anything with it.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to export the data and how it would be read. Yeah, I'm not sure how they store maps. I mean, it's
So you
probably
get
not
what I
gonna
mean, how it's
really
like
mesh, but
easier. Like it's not too much of a load on them how to integrate it. It's just a function that sits there and says, here's the walls, here's the objects, here's the player.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a data set of the game.
Yeah.
Because, like, can you think of anything else? Any other data? I guess data is I'm near edge. I
Yeah.
guess if we know where every object is and how long they are, then we know where every platform is and know when you're at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, it goes back to we're just input.
Yeah.
We're making input accessible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, here's a wall. Here's the edge of the platform.
Yeah, like a warning system. And now like a warning system, but like it could alert other accessibility related things.
So, yeah, I guess that's basically what magically is. It's just there are pretty basic ways to make your game accessible.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to imagine what else would we be able to do if you knew where every object in the level was. And really, I guess not objects. It's more like
It's not just the static level itself, because objects in the level would move usually.
yeah,
You're more just talking about the walls and the
and
floor.
not like where all the secrets are or anything. Yeah, so walls and the floor is your navigational space. Probably a fancy word to call it. Because I think we can do a lot with just that data.
Mhm.
But so I agree, like we need like a standard.
Or even just to show just a project to show people. Not necessarily a standard, but
Yeah. Because I think in the future,
I think I wanna make a space game with